We had a face full of that thing, buddy.
This list sucks. This list sucks. This list sucks. This list sucks. It sucks.
Does it suck? Oh shit! I almost started playing it again. Welcome back.
Hi, everybody.
It's This List Sucks again because it's Friday night.
Yeah, it's still sucking. Still Friday. But this Friday is a wee bit different.
Special Friday.
Special Friday because we have a special guest sitting here with us. If you're watching
Directly in front of you.
Yeah, you're the guy right in the center.
can't miss
The only two people that are usually here.
The guy that feels like he's being interrogated.
Absolutely.
Already you feel that way?
I mean, not yet. It's just the light, I think, that's so intimidating for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is getting
I'm
a
gonna get
face full.
waterboarded. I know it's going to happen.
We got friend
That'll
of
be
the
on the
show,
break.
Rex Todd, is joining us today. So yeah, we're super excited about getting his opinion.
Thanks for being here, Rex.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely. All the way from glorious Columbus Junction, Iowa.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for those unaware, Rex has been the guy that's been sending us his thoughts each week, and we've been reading his thoughts every week along with ours.
Yeah, the ultimate home gamer.
Yes.
Because he's playing along, and not only playing along, but taking the time to send us his thoughts.
I have nothing else to do. I'm fucking boring.
Boring is good. And if you're going to go through a list of the 500 greatest albums of all time, you better be either bored enough to have this much time on your hands, or you just better have a whole lot of time on your hands, right?
Correct.
Both. Yeah. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Yes.
So last week, Eric Church came up.
Oh, geez. We're getting into it.
Fucking right
Full
now.
frontal assault.
Yeah. There's no choice here. There's no choice.
I'm with it. I agree.
Okay.
You're incorrect. And
Yeah.
so there's that.
Defend your position.
No,
Because it's Eric fucking Church.
but
It's the chief.
Are you making an argument against him?
I know. Are you making an argument for his wonderful marketing?
Yeah.
My defense is there is a video on YouTube. It's Eric Church and Lizzie Hale called That's Rock and Roll.
Mhm.
Watch it.
All right. Is it a live performance?
It is. And granted, she fucking destroys it. She almost steals the fucking show. But it's just his entrance, his whole persona. It's the chief, dude. It's the chief.
The chief.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, that's it though.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, enough people love him that it's hard to argue with it.
Hey,
But
he's a brilliant
I
songwriter.
just personally don't get it. But you're certainly not alone in that opinion. You know, you're not. It's not an anomaly at all. So
I don't take issue with the songwriting. Like the song structure, the
You just hate his
songwriting
voice,
was fine. Yeah, it was his voice, man. There were certain settings on that record that his voice worked for me, but man.
yeah.
Say the same thing about Fish album too.
And I have heard that said before. So.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a really kind thing to say.
Yeah,
because I've heard
you could go a lot harder on that one.
Yeah, I mean you could go real
I
hard
mean,
in
you
the
can
paint.
say that about any artist, really. When it comes to their album, you can't have an immaculate album,
Yeah,
hands down.
Well, I mean that's fair, and I'm more than willing to accept that if his voice, if you like the tenor of his voice and if you like the timbre of his voice, then yeah, I get why that
So
album.
he conceded. I win, right?
I think that's a little up in the air.
I mean,
That's a concession speech.
it's not that it's a concession speech. It's just
No, it
that
is.
I'm willing to allow that if you want it to be on your top 500, that's cool. Your list sucks too.
It's a little high for me.
It's a little high for
It
you.
needs to be a little higher.
It needs to be a little higher.
Fuck off.
You mean no?
Serious?
You mean higher, like lower,
closer
higher?
to, like
Yeah.
closer to 500.
Higher,
Oh,
higher
okay,
digit
I'm
wise.
sorry.
Yeah,
I completely
I'm sorry, it's
misunderstood
too
that.
low.
yeah,
It needs to be
yeah.
higher
Too
on
low
the-
digit
Yeah.
wise. I thought you were saying you
No.
wanted it to be higher towards the top.
Towards
of
the top of the
Yeah.
list. Yeah,
No,
that's what I was
I've
saying.
been up
too.
since 4, so
Yeah, no, I understand
Long
that.
fucking day.
I understand that. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, it's good to be here.
yeah. We're glad you're here.
I know. Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure it's not going to be the only time we do it. So, the first of many.
Yeah, let's hope so.
We got a lot of episodes left.
A lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
of this list. By the time we finish this, They're probably gonna do a new one.
Yeah, but we can't recycle another 500 albums, could we?
What if they came out with a new one before we
Just
finish this
chop
one?
up previous episodes. And just
Just cut up.
Like, well, we can recycle that one.
So next week on This List Sucks, we're just gonna recut these 5 albums, which you've already listened to. So
no, it's just called Lego Set It.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that too. It is Friday. Did you do any unique listening today on this Friday?
Any new music?
Yeah.
I did one new thing.
What'd you do?
I did a single, and it was recommended to me by another listener, Shane Parker.
Mhm.
And he let
Shout
me
out Shane
know.
Parker.
Yeah. Thanks, Shane. He let me know that Blackberry Smoke released a new single today, which
Really?
is actually a band that I have like a lot of friends that are really into them, but I have not really dug into them a lot myself. Do you guys familiar with
Oh, yeah.
Blackberry Smoke at all?
Have you dug into them, Rex?
Shit, that was it. Hopefully we don't get taken off YouTube.
We don't own the rights.
Yeah, we don't. I do not claim ownership. But yeah, Blackberry Smoke released a new song called "You Hear Georgia" today, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. It's pretty like Southern rocky, elements of country there. Closest comparison would probably be like a more country-ish version of Government Mule, if you're familiar with them.
I was wondering if you were going to say almonds, but
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, you could make that. Yeah,
I'm not
comparison.
super familiar with Blackberry Smoke. I've had multiple times to see him, but I just haven't.
I've heard they're amazing live.
Yeah, I've heard the same
Yeah.
thing.
They have a live album that's just incredible.
Nice. I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, for sure. They're like good players for sure. Some really good guitar players
yeah.
in there. Yeah.
Is that a 4-piece, a 5-piece band? It's got to be 5.
Well, we
right?
can find out. I have the resources.
The interwebs.
I think I want to say 5, but like I said, I'm not super familiar. But
Not either.
Wikipedia is.
They play at Woolies seemingly all the time.
It's a 5-piece.
It
Yeah.
is.
They have lead vocals, guitar, bass, drums, another guitar, and keyboards.
Nice.
Makes sense for a Southern rock band.
Yeah, classic kind of
No
Southern
harmonica?
rock.
No harmonica because that would be unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unless it's Paul Simon with a bass harmonica. Then becomes tolerable.
I think I said it on the episode. Nothing Paul Simon does is unnecessary.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's exactly. That could be lifted straight from the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Probably will
Nothing
be
Paul
when we recycle that. Segment.
for the next
For the next list. Yeah.
You know what I did think would be kind of fun because they also have the top 500 songs of all time.
Yeah, we got to do that.
And I thought that could be kind of fun because that's a list that you could actually probably rip through at a far greater rate of speed than what you do this one.
Yeah, probably in like 50 episodes instead of 5. Or how many?
I was going to say, I think you could do it in
20
like
episodes?
20
Yeah.
20 to 30 episodes. I think you could rip that list off in.
Yeah. It depends how many songs we want to do per episodes. Yeah.
But at the same time, that might also be a list where you're like, that list might not suck.
Yeah.
Because a single
'Cause
song.
it's hard to get individual songs wrong. Like, yeah.
Right? I mean, you could argue about placement on a list like that, but the idea that you would listen to an individual song and just be like, no, fuck that
Well,
song.
maybe we're giving him too much credit though. Maybe
That's true.
the list will suck,
That's true.
as most do.
We might just have to find out.
Yeah.
Should
I
we
think we
talk?
will.
Should we talk about programming notes? Well,
Yeah.
do you want to? No, we don't have to do that this week. We can do programming notes next week.
Do you want to talk about
About next week?
about next week? Yeah,
we
that's
could-
what I was thinking.
Yeah, we could do that programming.
We're gonna have
note.
2 different special guests next
Yeah.
week. Yeah,
Next week is going to be kind of crazy.
it's gonna be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun one.
So for the main episode, we're gonna have our longtime production manager, Justin Jantis, joining us, and then for the bonus episode, his wife, April Leonard, coming on for what's the bonus? It's Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past by Moody Blues.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very passionate about this. She
Super-
wrote close to what would be considered a novella, I believe, on
Stop
this.
it. Stop
And,
it.
uh,
Are you kidding me?
Well, the essay that she emailed to us. Remember? And we're gonna read that off for sure, in addition
yeah.
to whatever she has to say. So
I mean, should we read it or should we? No, actually, we should read it to her.
Like, this is what you had to say on
That
this
works.
date.
And just see
And
if
have her
she-
sitting right where you're sitting.
Yes.
Yes.
And like interrogation style.
yes.
Put a flashlight in her face. At this time on this date, this is what you said.
And I guess we also have to reserve the right now to when April tells us that after listening to this episode, she wants no part of being on the bonus episode. I mean, that might happen too, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll text her and say, hey, don't listen to this week's episode until after next week.
Until after we record.
We have to take the pose to blur out your face.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. So that's going to be exciting. It'll be another star-studded week. But speaking of stars studded this week, I'm curious because I've known Rex longer than you have, JB, since your exposure to Rex has been through the show.
Yeah.
And I met Rex I don't know, 10, 12, 13, 14,
24.
15
years ago, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in all of the time that I've known you, I definitely understand some of your musical tastes, but I'm just
It's
curious.
fucking crazy.
And so that I just want to give everybody else out there a chance. If you had to give like a brief synopsis of what you're most passionate about in music, what you really, really enjoy, if there's anything that you just fucking hate to death, like what's your music story?
I grew up listening to Motown.
Nice.
I did. You know, when you're
Solid upbringing.
6 years old, and your mom's driving you, she controls the radio. You don't really
Kind of up to her. Yeah.
Like, no, I want to listen to Aerosmith, not the Platters again. So that's what I grew up on.
Okay.
I love Motown. I'm a sucker for it.
Nice.
Like Smokey. What was it? Smokey Robinson, The Miracles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking loved it.
yep.
That's just, it's nostalgia for
That's
me.
your DNA.
That's like you in fucking Dire Straits.
Oh.
So that's just like, that's memories, you know?
Yeah.
I really listened to much music till fucking Stone Temple Pilots. Purple.
All right.
That was one of my first CDs.
Nice.
You know, and ever since then it's Stone Temple Pilots and then Pearl Jam. Fuck, you remember wearing Jinko pants and those fucking suede Pumas? Oh yeah.
Of course.
Your Pearl Jam no code shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I mean,
Although I got to tell you, like, I went through a period of my life. I went through like this long period of my life where I decided to hate Pearl Jam because it's like the
I
most
wanted to.
this is the most ridiculous shit ever. So Pearl Jam, when they were what was the third? So Vitalogy, after they released Vitalogy, they got pissed off at Ticketmaster and they decided that they were going to do an entire tour where they didn't use Ticketmaster at all.
That's
And so-
awesome. And you hated that?
No,
Okay.
let me
I should let you
the
finish
story.
before I just get all up in arms. I tend to do that.
No, you're gonna get so far more up in arms when you hear the end of this story, and it's
Uh-oh.
actually super embarrassing. But okay, so you had to call this fucking 1-800 number, right? When tickets went on sale, just like you used to have to show up at like the local record shop that
Yeah.
had a Ticketmaster outlet and buy tickets when they
Right.
would first go on sale. So you spend all this time on the phone. If you finally get through to somebody, then you got to have your mom there to give them a credit card. So that way you can buy your ticket over the phone. And the closest show to us was Golden Gate Park in San Francisco.
Okay.
So it's a fucking giant monster field, like all the tickets you can possibly hope for. So me and all my buddies, we got tickets and it was awesome. We showed up, we get seated at the field and I don't remember who was opening. The opener came out. It was fine. Pearl Jam comes out and they're fucking smashing, dude. I don't even remember what they opened with. They played 4, maybe 5 songs. So, I mean, they're like 20, 25 minutes into a set. And
Still
it's
pretty fresh.
yeah, and it's really, really great. Totally love it. And then Eddie Vedder takes off after like the 5th song. And we're like, what the fuck? And like the set kind of stops for, I don't know, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Neil Young comes out. And we're like, what the fuck is this? And Neil Young plays like a couple of songs with Pearl Jam. And at the time, like I wasn't big into Neil Young by any stretch of the imagination. Like,
Were you familiar with him?
No.
You didn't really know who it was.
I mean, no, I mean, I knew that it was Neil Young, but I wasn't intimately familiar with Neil Young's catalog, you know?
So maybe it didn't like resonate how big of a deal that was.
No, in fact, the only thing that resonated with me was that Neil Young was definitely not Eddie Vedder.
Oh, geez.
Therefore, I was definitely not going to be hearing fucking Pearl Jam as long as that old son of a bitch was up on the stage
Holy
with
shit,
all of
dude.
the rest of the band.
Oh my God.
So he plays like 3 songs and then he leaves, and I'm like, fucking thank Christ. Eddie Vedder will come back out and I'm going to get the rest of the show that, you know, like and this is like my teenage mind thinking that I fucking fought, drug my nails. I dragged my buddy's face down in the muck to get those Pearl Jam tickets. So Neil Young takes off, like 5 or 10 minutes pass. And then I think it was either Stone or Mike McCready comes out and they're like, listen, guys, Eddie's really not feeling good. And Eddie's not going to come back. But great news. Our friend Neil Young is going to come out and he's going to play the rest of the show with us. At which point in time, I lost my fucking mind.
Not with excitement.
No, dude, I was so pissed. Like, I just sat there in the rest of the polo yards. Now, in my defense, I'm certain that they played Rockin' in the Free World 3 times during that set. Presumably because the rest of the members of Pearl Jam were not intimately familiar with all of Neil Young's catalog.
And the 4 times he played Horse with No Name.
That's, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, in hindsight, it probably should have been like one of the greatest afternoons of my life.
Highlights of your musical
I
scene.
should have been like, dude, I was there when fucking Neil Young played
But
a
you're
whole
like,
set.
Fuck this old dude.
I hated it so much.
What did your friends think? Were they like on the same page as
Yes. Yeah, we were all pissed. But I'm the only one that was like, fuck
you?
Pearl Jam.
Mad.
Fuck Pearl Jam. I did not go back to listening to Pearl Jam until they released the Avocado album in 2006.
Wow, that's a long time.
Really long time.
Damn.
No, not damn. Fucking dumb. Like, he's so dumb, because then whenever I listened to that album, I was like, wow, this is really good. And another buddy of mine was like, wait, so, and then I relayed the whole story to him and he's like, you're a moron and you need to go back and listen to all this great Pearl Jam that you missed. And I did. And I felt like a moron because I missed some really, really good fucking Pearl
Good shit
Jam.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Really good shit. So,
Not to mention good Neil Young that you probably weren't familiar with at the time.
oh, done. Yeah, absolutely. It's
Well, that is a funny story. What'd you say?
I'm surprised you didn't smack him.
I know. If I could reach only.
And
Yeah.
the fucking conversation ended with "Good day, sir."
This podcast has been fun.
Okay, so what do you listen to today? What are the last 5 albums that you? No, don't tell me that, because it's not on the list. Non-list related artists. Like, who's your favorite right now?
Oh, fuck. I heard a track today by Zach Christensen, I think it is.
Mm.
It was on Spotify.
Yep.
Fuck. Amazing.
Nice.
What kind of music is it?
Blues, and country. Dude's got a fucking voice.
I feel like I've heard of that name for sure.
Coulter Wall is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Coulter Wall's good.
Holy shit.
Talented young man.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look at my Spotify. But that shit's all fucking nuts. I'd fucking listen to MIA again today.
With the same one from.
Good.
It is good.
Were you listening to Aurilar again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get into the one after that at all? The one with paper planes on it?
Kala.
That's Kala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack's Mannequin. I love that fucking album. Jack's Mannequin. The only album they've ever put out.
Nice.
Fucking amazing. My friend, his band re-released one of their EPs that was like 15 years old. All But Screaming.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking put that on.
I love All
like,
But Screaming.
Fucking that's the jam. Well, I really only listen to everything that you fucking
Yeah. I mean,
on here. Holy shit.
yeah. If you looked at my Spotify, it'd be pretty much similar to. It's like
Just
I've
a
mainly
giant
been
mess.
listening to the list this week.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like mine's like the list with the dead and the fish like peppered in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here and
Cadillac 3. Can't say enough about them. Cadillac 3.
Not familiar.
That's country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do a cover of Circles by Post Malone. And it's fucking brilliant.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Cadillac 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like big name that's in that, or is it just a newer band?
They're mainly singer-songwriters.
They're young.
Yeah, they wrote the song "Meanwhile Back at Mama's." It's done by Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
Okay. The lead player. Oh, I guess they're a little older than they looked. They look like they're in high school, but they're 40.
Right? Randy Houser, can't say enough about him. Guy's got a brilliant voice. And fucking Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, and some Rage mixed up.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Mega Ran, can't say enough of him.
Which Rage album? The
Battle
one.
for Los Angeles.
Okay.
That album's killer.
You think it's on the list?
No.
Fucking should be.
I think
But
if
this is
any Rage
bullshit
Against the
anyway.
Machine appears on the list, it's going to be the self-titled.
Oh, I would say that's a no-brainer, right? That's probably top 100.
Listen, I'm so terrified by some of the things on this list that I don't know. I mean, I would think that you're right, and I really hope that you're right, but you know, I don't want to be disappointed too bad
Yeah.
if you're not. What do you say? You want to dive in?
Let's dive in.
All right.
Okay. So for those who are unaware, we are going through Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. I like to just recap that in case you decided to jump in at episode 22 and you had no idea what the fuck is going on. So we've made it a pretty significant way into this. We're getting close to the end of our first 100,
Yes.
at which point we will celebrate with some really cheap, shitty champagne.
The worst that I can find.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Barefoot Bubbly.
Is that the worst?
I mean, can you fucking think of a
I don't know.
worse one?
I think we
Put
can.
Boone's Farm into like a fucking
Well, no.
soda stream.
No,
and
now-
there you go.
We have the soda stream. So there
Okay.
we go.
Okay. That's fucking fair. That would definitely
That would
become
be
the
worse.
world's
Some
shittiest champagne.
Some Thunderbird,
Or some Mad Dog.
some Laser.
Some fucking Mad Dog blue curacao looking shit through the soda
Yeah.
stream.
Kick it off, Manischewitz, bud. Manischewitz soda stream. There you go.
Well, either way, we're going to be, puckering up and
We're going to be popping something.
yeah. So for the first 100. So
Yeah.
getting close to there. But today we are covering albums 415 through 411.
Mhm.
We're going to kick it off at number 415 on the list, which is the Meters album Look a Pie Pie from 1969. Rolling Stone says the Meters were the house band for New Orleans genius producer Alan Toussaint and played on 70s landmarks records such as La Belle's Nightbirds, while also running off a series of their own rock solid LPs. These instrumentals, sampled by rappers including Nas and Salt and Peppa, are funk of the gods. I love that. Funk
I
of the
know.
gods. Tight cutting, but also relaxing and inviting. With Art Neville's lyrical Hammond B3 organ adding chill texture to George Porter Jr.'s monster bass and the off-the-beat second line swing of drummer Ziggy Modaliste.
Fucking Ziggy's a beast.
And don't even mention the guitar player. They mentioned 3 of the 4 guys. That seems like a call out there.
It's definitely a little bit of some shit, right?
Yeah.
Not giving a shout out to the guitar player.
Yeah. It seems weird to do just those 3.
I have to tell you though, while Rex is over there coughing up his poor lung.
You okay, Rex?
Wrong pipe.
Yeah, no, I've been there. No worries.
So one of my favorite little comments that I just kind of wrote completely off the beaten path with this record is that I feel like the Meters might be the most important musical influence on Fish.
I feel like you could make that argument, but I feel like you could make that argument for a lot of fucking bands.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys,
Not exclusive to Fish by any stretch.
just some of the most OG funk, instrumental funk of all time, I would say. And it's just the biggest thing I can take from them. But yeah, like to your point, definitely.
Yeah.
Like instrumentally, I mean, it's the same instrumentation too, really. The guitar, the bass, the drums, and the organ.
Yeah, just
you know?
none of these guys are singing.
Yeah. Well, they sing a little bit.
In Look a Pie Pie, right?
They sing, yeah, there's a little vocal jam.
Like second track, I think.
Yeah, first.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very first track.
Because I don't know I don't think that vocal jam appeared again, did it? Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, it started at the beginning of the song, and
Yep.
then it also closed that same song.
Yeah.
But then other than that, I don't think there was any other. So for the most part, this is just instrumental funk. And the biggest thing I take from this is that like simplicity is just underrated. Like they really keep it simple. They're not afraid to dial it back and just focus on simple interlocking parts. Like the sum is greater than the individual parts idea is what these guys really envelop, I would say.
Is there an MVP?
Song wise or instrumentalist wise?
Well, I'm thinking instrumentalist wise, just because Rolling Stone made it a point to pick out Art Neville, George Porter Jr., and then Ziggy.
I think it's the guitar for me. Maybe it's because I'm a guitar player, but I don't always feel that way listening to music. Usually I latch onto the bass player more often, and I loved the bass player. Don't get me wrong, loved him on here, but the guitar on this is just so unmistakable. It's just I can hear that little scratchy rhythm thing that he does, where he goes, where he's like scratching. That's like so used throughout all kinds of music, not just funk going forward. I hear that influence in so many artists.
Yeah.
But even that being the case, I still can always tell if it's him. I can tell if it's the meters, just mainly from the guitar.
I love the reverb
on the guitar.
Yeah, that reverb chorus type of effect that he uses, and I really just think it's a reverb pedal, but maybe it's like a chorus pedal and a reverb pedal mixed in there. 9 to 5 is the one. 9 till 5.
9 till 5.
Yeah, like that's the one that kind of drippy chorusy reverb.
And that was the one where you put the wah-wah pedal on there too.
Oh, so maybe that's what I'm picking up on. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm thinking about a wah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
I haven't fucked around with
both.
enough guitar pedals to tell.
Well, I think there was definitely some reverb on there too, but
yeah, but wahs always trick me.
Yeah.
I always think that there's something else, unless they're just aggressively working the pedal.
Yeah,
and then it becomes really obvious and apparent.
Nothing about this album is aggressive either.
No,
it's very laid back and groovy and funky.
Yeah.
So,
what'd you think, Rex?
I loved it.
What was what stood out to you?
Everything. Like I didn't even read the synopsis. I just loaded it up.
Yep.
Because I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And I looked at the cover. I'm like, oh, all right, 70s R&B. That's cool. That's fine. Let's do this. And the whole album, I'm like, whoa, like, what's in my ears?
Yep.
And it's just easy to listen to.
Yeah. You can throw it on.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Easy to listen to for sure.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this is something that you can throw on and you don't even think about it. And eventually you'll just kind of be like, even today, right? Today, Justin came over and we were playing a game of chess to this because, spoiler alert, I've already fucking bought the album. It showed up in the mail today. So I popped it open and I couldn't wait to play it. Like, it was really, really wonderful. And we popped it on while we played a game of chess. And there was like one moment where I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, the music's gone. Oh, gotta get up, flip it over. Okay, yeah, that's better. All right, yeah, let's play some chess.
It's just an album
was
that
perfect.
doesn't get it.
No, absolutely not. And so to me, Art Neville's the MVP for me.
Yeah.
That fucking Hammond, man. It's
so good, dude.
It's just like, to me, and it's funny because that's where I think that the guitar adds a lot of character with what the guitar player is doing, but I almost feel like all of like the big characteristics of all of these songs come out through that Hammond.
And most of the like soloing is done by the organ player for sure. I mean,
Yep.
There's a couple guitar solos like sprinkled here and there, but most of the solos are the organ player.
That's what I loved about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
You never hear organ solos.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, but for me though, it was just their interaction. Like without either one, it wouldn't have been nearly the same. Like it was almost like they were like two people dancing together. Like the way that they just like all of the main motifs were like an interlocking rhythm between a line that the organ was playing and a line that the guitar is playing, which is what they do best. And then, they occasionally like pass off like, okay, you take the melody for a little bit or you take it for a little bit, and they kind of pass things back and forth,
I love it.
So maybe it's
that
like playing
aspect.
catch and wild dancing.
It's just a good marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a good marriage of all the instruments.
Yep.
Agree. I loved O Calcutta. That was like the super jazzy, like almost Eastern kind of vibes on that
Yes.
one. Reminded me of that jazz song Caravan. Like dun, 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 dun.
Mhm.
I think that was the most interesting melody on the record to me. But there were a lot of fantastic songs on this one.
Yeah, but that's funny because is this the one? No. That's on a later album, actually. That's on fucking Bob Dylan of all albums. So I want to save that comment. But I do I love the syncopation at the end of O Calcutta. Like that syncopated bit that they do at the end of it is really
With the
really,
little mini drum solos.
yes.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic. Really, really wonderful. I would tell anybody just to take the half hour to listen to this whole record. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's
You'll
not a
love
long
it.
one.
No, and you'll go back to it time and time again. But I mean, I guess if I was going to pick out one song, it'd be 9 Till 5. I loved 9 Till 5.
Working 9 to 5.
Yep.
Not that one. Yeah.
I mean, that one too. I do love Dolly Parton's 9 to 5.
Me too.
But on this record, that's the jam for me.
Yeah. I love that one too. That's a great one. My recommendation would either be O Calcutta, as I said, or Punji, which was the third track. Really, really cool harmonized line between the guitar and the organ. The bass player was a little more pronounced on that one for me. Reverb drums, which were like panned fully to one side if you listen on headphones. Kind of cool.
Interesting. You know what? I read something and I just want to make this comment because I think that it works really well. Like at some point in time, I think somewhere on Wikipedia, I read the phrase tight, loose axis relating to the rhythm section.
Yeah.
Meaning that the whole band operates on a tight, loose axis, the way that all the instruments, like it doesn't ever sound sloppy or loose.
It's somewhere in between.
Yeah. It kind of goes back and forth between like this real tight feel, but then at the same time, the pocket is there and the pocket's nice and tight. But if you really, really listen into it, there's a looseness that takes place between the bass and the drums in a way that it's just really go back and listen to it and think about that notion of like a tight, loose axis.
I can already hear it actually
Right?
when I think about it. Yeah.
Because if you really, really focus in on it, you say to yourself, oh man, yeah, they're free, they're flowing, but at the same time, that pocket is so tight and so deep that you're never going to get lost in it. Never, ever, ever going to get lost in it.
Agreed. Yeah.
So, at any rate,
So
go ahead.
did you add it to your digital library, Rex?
I did.
Yeah, I did as well.
I listened to it today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. I've listened to it. I've listened to it multiple times digitally as well. And like I said, I already bought the record.
I would definitely do the vinyl. I didn't already buy it. But now I wish I would have. Mike making me jealous. If this is the only Meters record on the list, it should be moved up much higher.
Yeah.
Do you
I gotta
think
say.
it could be the only Meters record?
I don't know. Their discography.
It's deep, right?
It's vast. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
A
super
lot of their
deep.
bigger tunes are on this one, but also there's a lot they're missing. Like they don't. I feel like the biggest Meters tune that I know and that I think is probably one of the most well known is Sissy Strut. You know, and that's not on here. Also, Hey Pocky Way is not on here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did get one more.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And even if we don't get one more, I'm gonna get a fuck ton more because
You're gonna get in a little deeper.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Were you not familiar with the Meters before this?
I'm not gonna say that I wasn't familiar, but it's not that I never did a deep dive into the Meters. No.
I think Paige has played with the Meters a few times.
Of course.
Paige from Fish.
Yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
And they still play today, and they go by the Funky Meters. I don't think it's the exact same lineup.
No, because Art Neville passed away.
Yeah, correct.
And I think there's did somebody else pass? I know.
I think it's likely. I don't know.
I know George Porter Jr. is still alive. Ziggy's still alive. Like Ziggy still plays all over the place because he plays with other. Like I've seen Ziggy play with other people. I think at Bonnaroo, but
maybe it's just the band, but without
Art Neville.
Yeah,
possibly.
But they go by the funky meters.
Well, I'm gonna funky meter myself at every opportunity that I can moving forward. So
yeah,
should we move on?
Let's move on.
414, 1979, Chic's album Risque. Rolling Stone says nobody thought a disco band was supposed to make a brilliant third album.
Wow. All they said.
But Chic always thrived on defying the odds. I'm sorry.
What happened there?
No. I literally I was just trying to make a dumb joke. Because if you end that clause with nobody thought a disco band was supposed to make a brilliant third album.
Me either.
That's what I was waiting for. On Risque, the dynamic duo of guitarist Niles Rogers and bassist Bernard Edwards fuse sleek tropical R&B, Anglophile new wave, and NYC club flash for a sound that's been the blueprint for pop radio ever since. Good Times is Chic's most prophetic groove. The story of hip-hop on wax begins here with the Sugar Hill Gang rhyming over it for Rapper's Delight. I must say, when I read that, because I did read this before I listened to the album, I thought I was going to get Rapper's Delight
on this record.
Fucking moron.
Honestly, the way it's kind of worded, it does sound like, because I looked down at my list, I was like, was Rapper's Delight on here? Like seriously, so it's not just you.
Okay.
And I was like, did I skip a song?
Right. Okay. And of course, that is the Sugar Hill Gang that recorded
Rapper's Delight, which they sampled one of these songs.
Yeah, so it would absolutely never appear on the Chic album.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, Rex Todd and I have spoken about this album.
I hate this fucking album.
Really?
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so fucking bad. I can read what.
Yeah, go.
Read
I want to hear
All
it.
right.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. Firstly, Good Times does not need to be 8 fucking minutes long. I understand the chorus the first goddamn time I heard it. You don't have to constantly play the chorus ad hoc just to make the track longer. Keep My Feet Dancing. Jesus H. Christ. It's quite clear that these tracks were created knowing that people would be dancing to it completely blown out of their mind on cocaine. Yeah.
So I liked this album a lot, but
I said good day, sir.
Well, but I'm having a hard time refuting any of the things you said there. Because you're totally right. They did kind of repeat the choruses ad nauseum on several tracks, and
pretty much on every
definitely
track.
with the cocaine thing.
Right? And it's funny because when Rex and I were talking, he made the comment about how this is clearly just music for people to dance to while they're high on cocaine. And I immediately thought to myself, wow, I mean, if you know that you're going to be playing in front of a room that's filled with just people that are hyped up on blow, you probably should have a song that is really, really long, right?
Yeah. But see, here's my opinion is that I don't think it's limited to that. I think it's a great album even without the use of illicit drugs. But I think this probably would be really fun to get high on cocaine and dance to. If you were into that. So if that was your thing.
If that was your thing.
Yeah. It's not our thing here on This List Sucks. We condemn all use of illegal substances.
I'm gonna say unequivocally, I actually really enjoyed this album too.
I loved it. I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, Rex. I think it really I can't even imagine a better disco record. And I am a fanboy for Nile Rodgers, big time, the guitar player. Yeah.
Why do you? Okay, so talk to me about your love for Nile Rodgers,
dude. It's almost like he kind of built on what the Meters guy was doing. With I wrote down Nile, and I did this a couple times in my notes. Nile, the wrist Rodgers, because it's just this. He has this this thing that he does, and it's been copped so many times, but it's just this funk style of playing guitar where his wrist never stops moving. It's just the whole time, and his left hand kind of moves, and a lot of times he's playing muted notes, and he's not necessarily playing chords the whole time, but he's a really great funk guitar player, and it's all about the rhythm with him. He's not like a showy lead guitar player. He's not soloing often, if at all. I don't even know if he did at all.
I don't think he solos at all either.
It's just more about locking in with the drummer, sticking with that snare drum and hi-hat and just locking in. Niall, the wrist Rogers. You heard it here first. So I love him, and beyond him, the bass player on this is just redonkulous.
He's a mad dog.
I think the bass line on Good Times is maybe like one of the best funk disco bass lines of all time.
Yep.
So good.
Love it.
Rex is like, fuck, that is a good bass line.
Good Times is a legit classic song. I could understand somebody saying, I don't want to listen to the 8-minute LP version. I would rather listen to the 7-inch single.
The first 3 songs are 20 minutes long.
Yeah, I agree. It could be shorter. It doesn't need to be like the album version. Maybe the club version could have been 8 minutes, and then they could have made an album version that was 3 minutes, and they would have got the same point across.
The club version, probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The 45-minute club version. Tell me this though, because Niles Rogers is, I think, somebody that his fanboy collection has grown dramatically.
Yeah,
I think
because of Get Lucky.
I was just gonna say in the past 10 years, I think his fanboy collection has grown dramatically.
Yeah.
And when I listen to this record, if I'm listening for him, I hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is on the same level as the Meters super high quality funk guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you were saying, you kind of have to listen for it, because at the end of the day, there are 2 phenomenally talented female vocalists that sit on the top of all this with the melody, and they are spectacularly talented.
They really are good, but I really wasn't focusing on them personally, to tell you the truth.
You were focusing on all the instrumentation.
Dude,
bass,
the bass,
drums, guitar.
The rhythm section in this band is so good. Even the keys playing is fantastic. But I agree with you. The vocalists are really, really good.
Yeah.
And they're just like frosting for me.
I fell in love with both of them.
Yeah.
Kim Davis, her voice is really, really good. She sings on no. So Alpha Anderson. So Kim Davis is on A Warm Summer Night, which I really, really liked that song. But Alpha Anderson is the other vocalist, and Alpha Anderson is who you hear featured on Good Times. It's who you hear featured on Will You Cry When You Hear This Song towards the end of the disc. And then you get this beautiful mixture of harmonies between both ladies on My Forbidden Lover.
Love that one.
Yeah.
My Forbidden Lover.
The vocal harmonies are just sublime on that to me. I mean, I really
good vocal hook on that too. I mean, just the whole chorus on that was fantastic. Was A Warm Summer Night the one where they're like whispering like puppy?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, puppy.
And it actually closes the song too. It closes the song.
Yeah.
It's like, mi amor, or te quiero,
Puppy. Love it.
I want you, papi. I want you.
Is that what te quiero means?
Te quiero. Yeah.
Okay.
I want you, papi. All right. I don't know where this belongs on my list. I will say that if I found this at Triple Z, I would absolutely buy it. I'm not going to spend the money on this LP new, but if I found it in like, especially if, dude, I would love to find this in the fucking, what does Vinyl Cup call it? The Bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
The Bye
I don't think you're going to
Felicia
find
bin.
it there though.
Fuck no, you're not going to find it there. Not after this. People are going to be on this tip now.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ever since, yeah.
Because I would love to pick it up. And I did add it to my digital catalog. I did.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm going to listen to it.
No, I added it too. And I would definitely buy the vinyl. I'd pay for the new vinyl.
Would
for
you
sure.
really?
I loved it a lot.
You would do
Sorry, Rex.
180 grams. Wow.
That's fine. You're wrong, but it's
And
fine.
So does this album belong anywhere on the list for you? Do you drop it entirely, or do you keep it somewhere and maybe just move it closer to 500?
Closer to 500.
So you'd keep it then?
I'd keep it.
Because it's good,
because
right?
of the influence. Yeah. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
and it also kind of captures an era. Like I was thinking, like what better disco album is there? Just pure disco.
Maybe the Bee Gees or ABBA.
I mean, you could argue like Patti LaBelle, ABBA. I mean,
Yeah.
Or Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
Dude, Gloria Gaynor. But a lot of those are singles, right?
Yeah. Because like Gloria Gaynor is the I Will Survive.
Yeah.
But do you know another Gloria Gaynor song? Because
No.
I don't.
No,
Yeah.
neither do I.
Despite having played that song 1,000 times live. But hey, that's one where I've played 1,000 times and I still like it.
Yeah,
Unlike
because it's a great
Sultans
tune.
of Swing. Yeah.
And that might be the problem with disco in general, is that disco was a sound and a movement of singles and less a sound and a movement of albums, right?
Yeah, but because of the fact that they're being played in clubs.
In
and
clubs.
but I feel like any of these could be a single, except for maybe one of their two of the ballads. But
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't disagree with you. And I like this album. I probably like the placement of it too. If it slipped closer to 450, I wouldn't be upset by that.
See, I wrote that I could move it up 20 to 30 slots.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're breaking 400 on this one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but again, there's probably some things that I would put LCD Sound System before this album.
Yeah.
I'd
have to
probably
really think about that.
I'd probably put Primal Scream before this album too. Right?
See, that one I might not have to think as much about. I loved Primal Scream.
Yeah.
I've been turning on several people to Primal Scream.
but even Paul Simon, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about all the albums that appear behind this that I could easily say, this is good. I want it on the list. I love it. I want to own the vinyl, but I don't want it here
Yeah.
relative to what they placed behind it.
Yeah. That's fair.
And a lot of that's going to come in what Rex is bitching about, right? It's going to come in the psalm length, because we don't need 8 minutes of good times, even though I'll take it.
depends how good the blow is,
That's exactly right. Depends on how good the blow is and how much you got of it.
But that's the one thing. Like, I'm one of those people. Like, when I get to a point in a song where I'm like, next,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're ready to move on.
I cash out,
That's cool.
and I cashed out on the first 3 tracks. I'm like, no.
That's fair. That's fair. And I like the fact that you're willing to say that, yeah, it has a place on this list, just not here. Right? Just not here.
Yeah. Well, should we get into the next one?
Do it.
Okay.
'Cause
Breaking.
I want to talk about this one.
This
a
one's
lot.
going to be a good one to talk about.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of listener feedback on this one as well. So we got an email.
I'm completely off. I'm off on my game.
That's okay. It
All
just
right.
came like a couple hours ago.
Nice.
So,
all right.
413 is Creedence Clearwater Revival. Cosmos Factory from 1970. Cosmos Factory was CCR's third classic album in under a year. Is that true?
Fuck, dude. Okay, so yes. And if you look at what, like, basically everything that Creedence Clearwater Revival ever did basically took place over
4 years?
4 fucking years. And 3 albums came out in basically between like mid 1969 and mid 1970.
So I think we'll probably get another record from this year by this band, maybe. Maybe not.
Let's keep going.
Okay. I'm going to start over. Cosmos Factory was CCR's third classic album in under a year. Is that right? No, I'm just kidding. John Fogerty began it with the 7-minute power Kugel Ramble Tamble, raging against actors in the White House. The hits include the country travelogue, Looking Out My Back Door, the Vietnam Nightmare, Run Through the Jungle, the Little Rich Traveling Band, and the Stax style ballad, Long As I Can See the Light. That's interesting because I literally wrote Stax Records on that song. Not even kidding. But the triumph is CCR's 11-minute cowbell craze jam on I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Marvin Gaye cover.
Mm-hmm.
Proof these guys could mix hippie visions with populist grit. So,
Where'd you fall?
I loved it. Straight
right?
out the gate, love this album.
I mean, there's no fucking coolers on here. There's no bullshit. This album blew me away because when I got halfway through this album, I remember thinking to myself, because I was driving back from Texas the last time when I was listening to this as like a cold listen, right? And I remember getting halfway through this album and I thought to myself, this is fucking Revival. Or no, it's Chronicles. Chronicles is the name of like CCR's greatest hits, that you can fucking buy at Walmart or anything else. And when I first saw this record, I was like, man, that's kind of lame. CCR is the perfect band to have a greatest hits album on a list like this. But again, when I got halfway through this record, I literally thought to myself, what the fuck? Like, am I listening to that? Am I listening to Chronicles?
To Chronicles, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
A lot of the same tracks, yeah. This album made me realize that I really fucking love CCR. It's like, I feel like, I knew who they were and I knew several songs, but I've never really taken the time to be like, to really even put much thought into CCR. I mean, I knew several songs and I've even taught several songs, but it's never been really resonated as like, wow, that band is fucking great. And of course I thought they were good because they're a classic American band, but this album is incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely, from beginning to end. And speaking of beginning, I mean, that first song, it's like a crazy fast like groove, and then it just slows down to this crazy build, and it's like this breakdown. It's like a jam. They're like a jam band there.
They jammed.
Yeah, they build this
like a
chord progression up for like 5-6 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. It's not like for the fish parlance, it's not like this crazy type 2 jam where they completely lose what was happening. Like they just basically drop into this totally separate groove and melody than what they started the song off with, and they just hang out. And there's just like, yeah, this feels good. This feels really good.
They let it breathe.
They build the house.
Yeah,
they do.
I mean,
I get lost.
Yeah, and it's easy
that
to
never
do.
Fucking happens with
No.
Never.
I get like chills on that.
Yeah, Yep. And Ramble Tamble was good. They do the same thing again in the cover of "I Heard It Through the Grapevine" of the Marvin Gaye song, and when they break loose in "I Heard It Through the Grapevine," it does become a little more type 2, right? Like they go off. I feel like they go off the beaten path a little bit more in that jam that's caked into the middle of "I Heard It Through the Grapevine."
Yeah,
and it's not wild. You don't ever lose that primary melody or that primary feel, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's wild. If
it is wild.
If you're only familiar with "Fortunate Son," and
good song, but
but it's just there's so much more, especially in this particular album.
Ballsy move to cover a Marvin Gaye song. I feel like for a band like this,
especially in 1970.
Yeah, that must have been like shortly after that it came out.
Yeah, but that did make me think about the fact all of the records from this era that we've talked about, so many of them are covering songs, and it's not just that they're covering songs that are 15 or 20 years old. These are people that are covering contemporary songs.
It's just a big incestuous scene.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It gets really weird because people are like, "Fuck, that song's really good." Fuck it, dude. Let's play it. It's really good.
Let's play it. Yeah.
and apparently everybody was cool with it.
That reminds me of the Jimi Hendrix thing with the Sgt. Peppers. You know that story?
No.
Oh yeah. So fucking Jimi Hendrix at one point, Sgt. Peppers, the album by the Beatles, released. He played it in concert, the whole album, the next night. With his band.
I have heard that story.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
He literally
Hendrix
listened to
did?
it. Yes. And he told his band, he's like, we got to learn this tonight. And they fucking played it. They played it the very next night. And like, I think Paul McCartney was in the audience at the show.
That's a true story. I've heard that story.
Fuck off.
Acid's a hell of a drug, bud.
That's a long record, dude.
Yeah, it's not short.
No.
How do you learn that in one day?
How do you learn that in one day? And how do you do that with a guitar, a bass, and a drum?
I mean, obviously it wasn't the Band of Gypsies. It was the bigger band, I think.
Oh,
so,
okay.
No.
That
but
makes
still
it feel a little bit better, but still. The next day?
The next day.
We gotta rip this
the
thing
day
off,
after
kids.
release. Yeah. And I don't think he told the Beatles either. So like, I think Paul was, I think it was Paul who was in the audience, and they were like, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
That'd be wild.
Yeah,
I can't imagine me and Paul. I mean, talk about the biggest compliment ever, though.
yeah. Jimi Hendrix fucking playing your album.
Jimmy's doing your shit the day after it came out.
Right.
Fuck off.
But yeah, I mean, getting back to CCR, looking out my back door, a tribute to the Bakersfield sound, I guess. Love that one. Makes me think of the Big Lebowski scene. I think we talked about this. Yeah, where he's banging on his ceiling, smoking a joint, and he drops it. He's like, and he crashes into the dumpster. Yeah, classic.
Oh, dude, come on. What's your favorite on here?
Oh man, me?
Yeah,
either that or Up Around the Bend. I love that one. It's a simpler one, but just such a classic chorus. Coming around the bend. Great harmonies on that one. I love the Ramble Tamble, and obviously Heard It Through the Grapevine.
How about you, Rex?
Ramble Tamble. That's
your jam? Nice.
I don't get lost in songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I listen to the lyrics. And that's like the one thing I've always paid attention to. But that, like, I was at work. I'm like, oh, shit. And I didn't do anything. I just sat there and listened to it. I'm like, holy shit. And the more you listen to the album, you realize how incredible John Fogerty's voice is.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
And the more you listen to it, it's like, oh, kind of, what am I listening to? Is this a greatest hits? Because I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, this is
you get halfway through
this
and
is
you're
a legit fucking record.
Yeah. You get halfway through and you're like, God.
And this is the third album they released that year.
Yes.
And every fucking song on this is just incredible.
Yeah. And their first released, I want to say in late 1967 is when the original CCR came out. And then there were 3 bang, bang, bang that all got released. And in looking at the track list, this is probably the most loaded record out of all 3. But if you go back to the previous 2 that were released within the same 12 months, there are ripping songs on the other one. For me, if I'm going to pick one song on here, and it's so trite because obviously it's a huge song by them, Run Through the Jungle.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
Dude, there's a really special thing that happens with that song. Like when you think about Run Through the Jungle as an anti-war song, which it is, and if you think about the type of atmosphere that Fogerty, who was a Vietnam vet, which is why CCR didn't come out until 67, right? Because Fogerty was in the military.
He was literally
that.
in Vietnam.
Yeah. So when you think about this guy creating this type of music and to just give you the sense, because like it starts off with like those choppers coming in and then just the mood combined with the lyrics, which I'm not a huge lyrics guy, but if you listen to the lyrics and then think about the mood that the music is making, that to me is fucking magic. That's where music becomes a time machine. Music becomes terrifyingly emotive.
And it's hard to pull off a song that is one chord. Did you know that song is one chord?
No.
The whole thing. It's just a D chord. There's no chord progression. They just throw that little riff in, which is literally just a walk down the blues scale. Run through the jungle. That's all it is. The entire time, one chord. And a blue, and just literally walking down a scale. And somehow they made it into what it is.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it really is.
Again,
it's one chord.
One chord, but man, they make a world in that song. I
agree.
And it's a terrifying world. It's a world that I don't want any part of.
No. Yeah.
And I think that that's exactly what he wanted everybody to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that, again, that's magic. That's the best part of music to me.
And I didn't hate the harmonica on that one.
See?
I can't hate anything these guys do, I guess.
It's not all unnecessary. All right. So another spoiler alert. I was telling these guys that I kind of went a little bit hog wild the other night on Discogs. Like I just started thinking about albums that I would love to have and then just fucking finding them and buying them. This was one.
This was one of them.
$8 though, dude.
$8.
$8.
I got $8. Maybe I'll buy it.
Right?
Yeah.
$8, man. I was like, there's no fucking way I can pass this album up for $8. All in.
If I got $8, I'm probably gonna throw it in more GameStop stock.
Games donk. I also added it to digital though. Loved it. I loved it a lot.
I added it to digital as well. And I will definitely look for the vinyl on this for sure. I look forward to owning it and spinning it. And definitely with the list.
Yeah.
Should be on here for sure.
Rexy, what do you think?
I added it.
Yep.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And there's so much blues and soul in that album alone.
Yep.
So much heart.
Are you going to dig into other Creedence? Because I don't get the sense that any of us have like sat down and listened to individual Creedence albums.
I think a lot of us have just forgotten about CCR.
I mean, I know that
You
I
know,
haven't.
Like, it's on the radio and you listen, but you don't really get in.
Dive in.
Yeah, I'm the same. I haven't really listened to it. This is probably the first Creedence record that I've listened to in its entirety.
Yeah. Yeah, it was mine too.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that greatest hits, right? Like I listened to the greatest hits, and so I was familiar with all of their big stuff, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna climb down this rabbit hole because fortunately all these albums are 30 to 40 minutes long.
Easy.
So you can kind of climb through them pretty quick. But yeah, I'm going to because I think there might be some other gems that I wanna get on wax.
There very well could be. Yeah.
All right, listen, let's go back to Rex's Time Machine, number 412.
Oh, you know what? Actually, sorry.
No, go.
Yeah. So Shane Parker,
Oh,
the same guy that tipped me off to the Blackberry Smoke song that was released today. He sent in some thoughts about this album in particular. He says, JB and Mike, short time listener, first time writer. Love the show. To say this week was a lot of fun to listen along with all the albums. Cosmos Factory literally took me back in time to when I was around 6 years old. Vividly enough, I can remember the color and texture of the carpet I sat on in front of the record player as this album played. Thanks for the trip down memory lane. Can't wait to listen to this week's episode while I casually cruise around town aimlessly. Shane P. Thanks, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. That's amazing. He can even remember the color of the carpet.
That is awesome. Yeah.
That's fucking rad.
And that just speaks to the power of music. And this one just resonated particularly well with him this week. So he told me about that in person. And yeah. So
Time Machine.
Yep.
Right? Like when it's really, really good, that's what it can become. Fucking Time Machine.
Yeah, like
so
on this next album, like I remember where I was when I heard it.
Okay. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Literally hold that thought. 4/12, 1965. And I was super excited about this, especially with the way that you led with what we were talking about earlier. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the album Going to a Go-Go. Rolling Stone says, Motown at its most debonair and sexy, Smokey Robinson works his sweeping soul falsetto over unbelievably sad ballads, including The Tracks of My Tears. And I almost can't say it without singing it. I won't. Oh, baby, baby.
can you sing it?
Oh, baby, baby.
That's much
God
better.
Damn it, I love that. As the Miracles sob along. Robinson made it seem effortless to write a constant string of hit singles for the Miracles, as well as the rest of the Motown roster. But this album has some of his finest deep cuts, especially the helpless learning of Choosy Beggar. So Rex, continue on with your thoughts. Time Machine.
Time Machine. Front seat of my mom's car, I think it was a Buick. White Buick, blue vinyl.
Blue vinyl interior.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Legs are sticking to that shit like a motherfucker.
Sexy
Big
as a
time.
motherfucker, right? And we were heading up to Iowa City. And I remember the radio station, 100.7 Cool FM.
Nice.
Holy shit.
That's rad.
KUUL.
That's like the color of the carpet.
That's just like the color of the carpet with Shane. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like it's just ingrained in my memory. I remember exactly on the fucking road where we were at. So I mean, that's just the power of music.
It really is. You know, there's actually a movie about that. Just, you know, apparently they've kind of been experimenting with using music as a way to recall memories in patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. and with some really interesting effects.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a movie centered around the Grateful Dead actually, and it's a kid that has, I want to say it's actually like a kid for some reason he developed dementia or something, because it wasn't like an older guy. I don't think it wasn't that old at least.
Yeah.
And he develops like severe memory loss, and he's like basically can't function, and he ends up living in kind of an asylum situation. But whenever he listens to the Grateful Dead, specifically like Uncle John's band was the song that worked for him, he could start like performing functions again. Like he could live normally if that was playing. But then as soon as it stopped, he like couldn't function, like couldn't
What the
live normally.
fuck?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They're using it as therapy for Alzheimer's patients.
Yeah.
They can actually
That's phenomenal.
And it's about finding like the right music, because each
the right
patient is
music,
like
the right
different,
song,
you
and
know.
they remember they start remember like where they were when they heard that song.
And it starts like beyond just where they were. It like allows them to remember to just like function normally, you know, whereas like normally they like their memory loss is so bad that they can't even like do normal shit, you know.
That is, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, really amazing, right? If you think about like the whole idea of synesthesia, right? And like different, like when you cross over, your sense of taste crosses over with your sense of hearing, with your sense of smell and all that stuff. Like the idea that audio and music could be like a key to unlocking memory for people that have memory issues. That's, man, that's
crazy.
Cool. I wonder what my Alzheimer's song is going to be.
Yeah.
Probably the Flaming Lips.
You think so?
Yeah, actually, it might be Mike's song. Mike's song might be my Alzheimer's song.
It'd be fitting.
But they have to find the right jam. They'd be like, okay, we figured it out. It's 8-1-98.
I'd be so pissed.
The set one opener from Alpine Valley.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking song that Cisco can listen to.
Dude, wouldn't it be so? I would be so pissed if mine was Sultans of Swing. It's like so like every time like they started playing Sultans of Swing, I'd be like, oh god damn it.
Serves you right.
You can just remember, and the only memory you would have is how much you fucking hate that song.
Mine's gonna be
Olivia's Pool.
Mine'll be fucking Good Times by Chic. I'll come
Good
to
Times.
Jesus.
motherfucker.
Dude, at least you'll have 8 minutes of your life back.
Right. The Good Time. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody already knows this. Of every song that I listened to this week, I try to keep my little star ratings between 3 and 1 is what I try and do. Because if I say, man, that song, like 3 stars, that's a really, really good song. So that's what I gave Good Times. And I know you fucking hate Good Times, but I did do that.
I didn't know you're on a Michelin star rating.
I know.
All right.
And speaking of Michelin stars, only the greatest get a 5-star rating. Oh, baby. I gave that fucker 5 stars. Like, I love that song
Really?
so unbelievably much. It's something about Smokey's voice, like that falsetto that he hits in the chorus. Like, it's the most beautifully wonderful. Like, it's so just everything.
The only
I love
5-star ratings that I gave this week were on the bonus episode. No spoilers, but that'll be coming up.
I feel you.
But okay, so speaking to that, the unique voice thing, incredibly unique with Smokey's voice, and I think it's crazy that we had 2 really, really unique vocalists in 1 week. We have John Fogerty and we have Smokey Robinson. I mean, those are just 2 voices that they just are their own thing. Like you would never mistake either of their voices for anybody else ever under any situation.
To that point in the list where it's going to be more common.
Yeah.
The standouts
I
like
hope
that, you
so.
think?
Yeah. Hope it gets fucking
you're gonna
better.
pop on a track, you're going to know exactly who that is. And then next record, you're going to know who that is.
Yeah.
I
But I mean,
would
even
think
if like
so. I would think so.
either of these guys, though, like even if I heard them singing a song that I had no idea what the song was, you would immediately know who they were, you know, just because of their voice is just so, the timbre of their voice is so, you know, it's just, it's just so singular, you know?
Particularly with Fogerty. Like I would probably give John Fogerty an even bigger distinction, right?
Yeah.
Just on listen. Like as soon as he starts singing, you're like, oh yeah, it's John Fogerty. You know, it does stand out that much. But Smokey's voice is
It's so good. Yeah.
it's really, really
Some great
wonderful.
soul vibes going on this record. I liked a lot of the tunes, but I gotta say, for me, there were a couple tunes that would be skippers for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them. In fact, this was one of those albums that made me wonder if To My Tears and Oh Baby Baby's not on this album. Is this album on the list?
Those weren't even my favorites personally.
What were your favorites?
All That's Good was one of my favorites. All That's Good. Just really,
I love the chorus.
I wrote that was just kind of like 60s soul at its best. Such a good chorus. I loved Choosy Beggar.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So fantastic. Dreamy verses, great strings. That was the miracle strings.
You know, the funniest part about Choosy Beggar though was my favorite part of Choosy Beggar was his wife.
his wife on that one?
Yeah, so his wife is the one that sings. She's the female backup vocalist for this entire album. And I loved her voice so much on Choosy Beggar. Like that's and I did like that song. Like that song did stand out to me. But it was because, and that's how I found out that she was even involved in the band. Is when I heard that song, like I heard her voice and I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I probably felt the same way, but I didn't look it up for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that took me down like a whole other little rabbit hole.
But the one after, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like the one after that, Since You Won My Heart, like you get more of Claude. Her name is Claudette Robinson something. Like she's got a third name there, but really, like her voice started standing out to me more and more and more. And it was probably because I was listening to it. I was listening for it.
Yeah.
You know?
I was gonna say that song "Since You Won My Heart." Take it or leave it for me. It's pretty. I would have skipped it.
It's a basic crooner.
It's just like it's like kind of 50s sounding, almost like doo-woppy a little bit. It was just real vanilla.
That's the heart of Motown, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doo-wop foundation.
Yeah.
It is. That's
You're not
right
wrong,
about it.
but just for some reason, just didn't do it for me.
Were you more okay with the doo-wop with the Supremes?
No, because a lot of those were skippers for me too. And maybe it's just that it all just kind of bleeds together for me. But that's the thing, is a lot of these didn't. A lot of these stuck out and that one didn't, you know. So for whatever reason. Another one that didn't stick out was the last one. I wrote obligatory 6/8 ballad. That every fucking soul record has to have one of those.
Now, I actually really liked A Fork in the Road. I loved it, actually.
I like the
It was a slow
orchestra.
down. Yeah, it was a slow down. They added a lot more instrumentation to it. I loved the backing vocals. I mean, and Smokey was just kind of sitting on top there, but they also mixed in like a xylophone. Like they brought in a lot of different instrumentation on A Fork in the Road, which I was pleased with. I didn't hate it.
And the thing about the instrumentation on this, and what I wrote kind of was that the instrumentation is all really solid. It all gets the job done, which is kind of supporting the songs and backing up Smokey's vocals.
Yeah.
Nothing really sticks out as particularly special, which is probably good because what it means is the band's just working together. In this context, that I don't mean that in a bad way. You know?
Not a pejorative.
Like
at
you're
all.
not looking for one instrumentalist to really shine above all the others or anything. You're looking for a sound. You know, you're looking for the vibe that's created among multiple musicians, and it works.
Yeah.
So
I wrote Tremendous Harmonies, a great 1960s Motown pop album. This group has pitch perfect melodies. It's almost perfect snapshot of Detroit music.
Yeah.
Love it. This is the music I grew up listening to, so Motown has a special place in my heart. Just what I needed to calm my nerves after listening to that annoying Chic album. Seriously, why are those fucking songs so fucking annoying and long? Okay, let's go back.
that's awesome.
He digresses
Thanks, Rex.
back into hating
But I
Chic.
digress.
I did not add this digitally.
I didn't either.
And I don't think that I would look for this on vinyl.
I would
As-
do the vinyl, but I'm not gonna seek it out. But if I saw it, I'd buy it for the collection.
I would actually love to find a 45 of Oh Baby Baby,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
because that would be my jam. And again, not that I hated this record, and I'm not even going to take it off the list, because for me, Tracks of My Tears and Oh Baby Baby are undeniably some of the greatest music that Motown created. And I want to see those songs on the list in some capacity. And if that means that this record is on the list, then I'm cool with that. But I'm definitely rolling it back to probably somewhere between 475 and 500, actually.
I wrote bottom 50, but I'm cool with it being on the list. Absolutely. I was bummed out that it didn't have I Second That Emotion on it. I love that song. It's my favorite Smokey Robinson song for sure.
Just take 5. You might get that song.
Yeah.
You might get it later on the list.
That's the album is Take 5.
Or
what'd you say?
No. I said take 5, meaning like hold it.
Oh, just
on
wait.
that.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Because there's no way that this is the only Smokey Robinson on the list, right?
Probably not.
Not with as many groups as he's been a part of.
Yeah, I mean, because he has like, after the Miracles were gone, he's got like a ridiculously deep solo catalog. So I got to imagine that we get more Smokey Robinson.
Yeah,
I hope anyway.
I would not be opposed.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, this one for me can remain on the list, but I would move it down.
All right, let's do 411.
Last record of the main episode.
Let's do it.
411 is Bob Dylan's Love and Theft from 2001. The blood and glory of 1997's Time Out of Mind had raised the bar. This was the first Dylan album in years that had to live up to fans' expectations. He didn't just exceed them, he blew them up. Dylan sang in the voice of a grizzled drifter who'd visited every nook and cranny of America and gotten chased out of them all. Love and Theft was full of corny vaudeville jokes and apocalyptic floods, from the guitar rave Summer Days to the country lilt of Po' Boy. I'm pretty interested to see what you guys think about this one.
I am too, but I don't want to lead. What do you got?
Rex,
buddy?
you lead.
Yeah.
All right. This record makes you ask the question: is music poetry, or is poetry music? Bob Dylan answers that question with every single album he puts out. Pure and simple. I love it.
Wow.
So I agree with 100% with you, and I wrote something very similar to that effect in terms of the poetry thing. And I'm really looking down my notes to see what I wrote. So just give me 1 sec. I'm just going to keep talking and kill time while I look down my list, and hopefully I'll find it. Not finding
Still
it
haven't
yet.
found it.
Nope.
The ramble tamble.
I know. The
Yeah,
ramble
that's
tale.
exactly what this is. But yeah, basically I wrote it. He's as much of he has no shortage of lyrics. He's as much a poet as he is a songwriter. And for me, it does get a little exhausting trying to keep up with his lyrics, because every song has 5 or 6 verses, and some of his lyrics, while great, I'd rather read them as a poem, because it's like, if I'm gonna try to like grasp the concept someone's putting forth, it's a lot to listen to. It's a lot to try to focus on and try to soak up while you're also listening to music. And I get distracted by music, so I cannot really say that I really got a lot of what he was trying to say on this lyrically.
Okay, so let's recap what JB's thoughts were.
Yeah, let's do that.
As I understood what you just said was Bob Dylan is an amazing lyricist. However, he writes so many fucking lyrics that his songs end up being incredibly long, maybe longer than what they should be, because by the time that I get halfway through the song, I start listening to the music, lose track of the lyrics, realize that I've lost track of the lyrics because I'm trying to listen to the music, and now you just kind of feel like you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I mean, this music is good. I don't know what the fuck he's saying anymore, though. And I know that his lyrics are really good.
It's like opening a 500-page novel and reading from the middle. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I don't think you like this.
Here's the thing. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs out of fucking 12 on this record that I put at least 1 star next to.
Yeah.
And some of them I put 3 stars next to.
Hmm.
But I feel like the only reason why this album is on this list is because it's a Bob Dylan album. It's a Bob Dylan album that he recorded later in life, and it didn't fucking blow.
I feel like it's the obligatory. We have to throw in a later in life Bob Dylan record.
Thank you.
I feel like he's kind of resting on his laurels here. A lot of these songs are extremely simplistic and vanilla, overdone. Nothing new at all, except for the fact that it's Bob Dylan doing it, and his lyrics are great. Obviously, no talking shit about his lyrics.
Okay. When they redo this bullshit list in 5 years, is this album still on it? Question number 1. This is a 2-part question, though. So before you answer, question number 2 is, do they actually drop this album entirely and replace it with fucking Rough and Rowdy Times because it's serving the same purpose?
That's what I was going to say. Was that his newer one?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
the
was
one
gonna
that
say.
just came out last year. And the same purpose is, hey, Bob Dylan is a
Still-
really good songwriter, and he's such a good songwriter that he's still writing good songs when he's 9,000 years old.
Yeah, when he's like hanging in with Gandalf, his similar age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only when Gandalf talks, you can understand every word that he says. And when Bob Dylan talks, he talks.
He's like an orc. Yeah. There's a Urukai for the Lord of the Rings fans. Yeah.
Listen, all of that being said, I fucking loved Cry a While.
Yeah, that one is the one where
Way towards the
the
back.
timing change.
Yes.
And it did like a shuffle. It's like doom, 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 doom. They'd be like doom, 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 doom,
So
doom,
I
doom.
literally, so what I wrote on that is that anybody learning jazz needs to listen to this song because it's literally going from a swing jazz beat to a rock beat
to a straight like 2-step rock beat almost.
to a rock beat, right? Rock, swing.
I get that, but
rock,
that timing
swing.
change out, and it's Bob Dylan playing a blues song.
Listen, you take that timing change out, and it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
And not really great. But all that being said, like again, I loved that drop into the swing. And then I love the fact that they straightened it back up.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
they
cool.
went square on top, and then they just dropped right back into the da 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 da. I loved it. I mean, I really fucking loved it.
The first song I really liked on the album was Mississippi.
It's a great song.
He had like a good like meter to his vocals on that one, like nice syllable choice.
Mhm.
You know, I feel like he does that well.
And he kept that song in a range, excuse me, that works really, really well with his diminished capacity voice.
Stayed in Mississippi a day too long. Good
Yep.
mandolin on that one.
Yeah, the mandolin was wonderful.
Another song I really liked was High Water for Charlie Patton. Kind of a bluegrassy tune on that one. Stand up
Mhm.
bass to it.
The banjo, right?
Banjo on that one. And I feel like
Fucking-
his vocals style worked out particularly well on that one. Because on a lot of these tunes, I got to be honest, his vocals were kind of hard to get past. Like his voice is, let's be honest, is not good at this point.
It's deteriorating.
It's bad. And is
Well, okay, so he recorded this album in 12 days.
yeah, I did read that.
You can totally tell the songs that he recorded in the first half of that session, right?
Because he's not as exhausted.
Yeah.
I saw him.
You can hear the fatigue in his voice, and I feel like you can tell. And actually, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, without question, recorded late in the session.
because his voice is like, it's like he has a sore throat.
That's right.
Sounds like he has COVID.
That's right. And what they were saying too soon, man. Too soon. What I was reading, according to whatever moron created the fucking Wikipedia page for this album, they were saying that a lot of these songs he had in his head one way, like in a specific key, in a specific style, and when he got into the studio, they would play him, and he would say, "No, we're gonna change it to this key and go from, a rockabilly over to a Western style."
Yep. And that's just serves to Bob Dylan's ability in terms of arranging and just having that ear. Another guy that I think of is Tom Petty that had that similar ability to just be like,
no, we got to do
we
this.
need to do this here. We need to cut this chorus in half. We need to double up this interlude here. He just had like an ear and just a mind for making a song the best that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these songs probably ended up better than whatever he had originally. So
without question, but I think the songs where you hear the most fatigue in his voice are probably those cuts that he said, you know what?
I don't like what we did.
Yeah, whatever he did on the first take, he was like, no, we can't do this. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and let's recut it.
I liked the jazzy like lounge style tunes on this one, of which there were like 4 or 5. There were quite a few. I mean, it's like he's a folk singer, really, a blues artist at times, but you don't usually think of Bob Dylan as a jazz singer, you know.
No.
But he kind of was on this one.
Were you thinking of By and By?
By and By was one. Was one? Floater, Too Much to Ask was another kind of swingy jazz tune with it's almost gypsy jazz on that one.
Yep. The fiddle on Floater is fucking money.
Solid. Yep.
Man, it's money.
Moonlight was another swingy jazz tune. Po' Boy, another loungy jazz tune. Quite a few of them.
Yeah. And it struck me that those loungier, kind of jazzier type tunes were the ones that were probably cut on the first couple of takes. They were recorded earlier in the session because you got more range out of his voice. You get a much cleaner cut out of his vocals.
I saw Dylan live probably around this time. Now that I think about it. I saw him at the
2001.
Some at the Iowa State Fair, and it was probably 2003, maybe at the latest. I would think.
Wow.
It was the year that the grandstand caught on fire, like during his show, whatever year that was.
Errant joint.
What did you say?
Errant joint.
Oh no. Nice
It
though.
was a one because
That's funny.
Sadie went to that.
No, it was like a food vendor that was like behind the grandstand, and we were up in the stands, and the joint was not errant. I was like a child. I was like 11 years old.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. And I was just stoned as shit. And no, I'm just kidding. But no, but like I remember there was smoke that was coming up behind and stuff, and I think the show maybe got like cut short because of it or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, so all of the shit that I've talked about this record, I didn't add it to digital because this is not my favorite version of Dylan. I'm gonna listen to Hurricane 1,000 times. I'm gonna listen to Desire, Blood on the Tracks. Blonde on Blonde, Highway 61 Revisited.
How high is Blood on the Tracks?
Top 50. Top 50.
Is this another bet?
God damn it. Wait, are you sure you're saying not top 50 for Blood on the Tracks? Because then it would be a bet, good sir.
Fuck. Can I? Yeah, I'm saying not top 50. I'm saying top 100, but not top 50.
Okay.
Did you look it up already? Are you fucking cheating?
No, you did.
How much would you?
You don't like this bet, though, do you? This is a fucking terrible bet for you.
This is a gamble.
Yeah, this is a fucking. You just bought GameStop at $4.25.
Good thing I did that too.
You would shit yourself if that album came out at number 51.
I mean, I wouldn't shit myself. It's fine.
I said shit, shit.
Well, whatever.
And yeah, we'll decide on the stakes later.
Rex, where are you at? Where are you at on this thing, list or otherwise?
I fucking love that album. I do.
All right. Do you like its placement? Did you move it up?
No.
Good
All right.
spot for
It's a
it.
good spot.
Yeah.
You like where it's at? This is an undeniably very good album, but I still feel like I feel like Bob Dylan has much better representation throughout
Agreed.
other albums in other parts of the list where he deserves to be, right? He's a wonderful songwriter. He's a wonderful musician. And when he was younger, he was a wonderful singer. I like Bob Dylan's voice. And so I'm going to take the geriatric version and I'm going to say no because I'm going to say no because fucking Pink Floyd Animals could easily be 411, if not to 11, if not fucking 111, and I would feel way more comfortable than it being fucking nowhere.
You know what?
Nowhere.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say no too. If I was to leave it on, it would be late stage in the list. It would be towards the bottom.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I do want to mention the last song. What do you guys think of Sugar Baby?
I dug it.
I dug that one a lot. That's probably my favorite one. Ethereal accordion. There was like this simple but haunting, repetitive melody. Like,
I loved the accordion.
Yeah.
Loved the accordion.
And it had a line, happiness comes suddenly, but leaves just as quick.
Oh,
Yeah. Kind
That's
of
a
stuck
great
out to
line.
me for some reason.
great line. All right. So we're now at that point in time where we get to talk next week, and we've already foreshadowed a little bit next week. We're going to have another guest next week. Justin Jantis on for the main show, big friend of the show, and then April Leonard is going to be joining us for the bonus next week.
Yep.
So next week's show, we're going to be talking with Justin about number 410, which is going to be the Beach Boys 1967 album Wild Honey.
409, Grateful Dead, Working Man's Dead. Holla!
Number 408 from 1980, Motorhead's Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. I'm actually stoked about that one.
I am too.
407, Neil Young. Everybody knows this is nowhere.
No fucking clue. And
Oh, really?
dude, no clue. I've never heard that album before.
You know, Down by the River? You know that song.
Sure.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm telling you, listen, I fucking told you this story. You didn't think like I held that type of grudge against Pearl Jam. You don't think I held any
Holy
grudge
shit,
against
dude.
Neil Young?
You're gonna shit when you hear Down by the River.
The last time we're gonna be talking about next week. It's a whopper, folks. If you're home gaming, good luck. Number 406 is the 1999 release from the Magnetic Fields entitled 69 Love Songs. The title's not fooling you. That is 69 love songs.
We will listen to them so that you don't have to.
Maybe. No, I'm
Just maybe.
joking. We will. So we're getting ready to take off. Join us next week. Should be really, really good. Excited about that. Rex,
Yep.
thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here, Rex.
Yeah,
We
thanks.
appreciate it.
I felt like an 8-year-old in calculus class. It's great.
That's what happens. It happens. Listen, next time you'll feel like a 12-year-old in calculus class.
You'll be a little
It'll
more.
be perfect.
Yeah. Well, let's do it again. We,
Absolutely.
and you're joining for the bonus episode as well. So you'll be on here in a minute, right?
No, I gotta go get Harper.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
I mean, we didn't drive all the way across town to Walmart to pick up a power strip so we could play video games and skip out on that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That makes sense.
Literally fucking happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Do stick around though, because we are going to be talking about the next album on the snub list that we're talking about, which is Animals from Pink Floyd.
Yep. Coming up here in a few minutes. So thanks a lot, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
This list sucks. This list sucks. This list sucks. This list sucks. It sucks.